Thanks for stumbling on another review of this awesome gold label Hazmat Batman figure. AKA Hazmat, AKA COVID Batman, AKA the Masked Inoculator. He's got 22 moving parts, which we'll get into later. Fun fact, this happens to be the very first, and I want to say only McFarlane figure with an integrated LED. So make sure you pick up specifically the gold label one that clearly indicates the LED functionality. This one's packaging is kinda wrecked, so it gets to be on camera, but you know, your boy's got a fresh one in the stable. So if you're not aware, this Batman comes from the Amazo virus storyline where Lex and Bruce merge companies, and while walking through Lex's lab, they're attacked, and a container of a shelved virus is released onto the city. This back panel looks pretty awesome. Shows him standing next to what I'd imagine is an entire tank of the stuff, imposing his nonchalant attitude toward what is essentially 100 gallons of Ninja Turtle goo, which could turn him into a giant man-bat or a turtle or something. A while after the chaotic aftermath and looting, people started noticing newly acquired abilities like wind manipulation and blasting fire. In search of Patient Zero, we get the first reveal of the Hazmat Batman suit, equipped with chest-mounted searchlight, wrist-mounted infotainment, and rubber hoses. I went ahead and cut the stickers on each side as to keep this review going, but turns out I forgot the one at the top here. Alright, so first opening the package, you realize how sturdy it is. The tolerances are out of this world. The figure slides out smoothly enough, but there's something holding onto the back panel. Peeking behind it, there's a piece of paper that turns out to be the instructions for the battery pack. Go ahead and skip to the time indicated if the instructions isn't something that interests you. Like I was talking about earlier, the backing on this is really in there. But here's the card and black DC stand that this figure comes with. I'll get some close-up shots and a good look at the back of the card here in a second. Holy cannoli, this thing is a masterpiece. People are sleeping on this figure, folks. It's available around $25 US, and being the first and only figure right now with an integrated LED, at least in my eyes, it's gonna be quite a banger in the future. Not to mention it's released during COVID under this Hazmat narrative. Amazing. The combination of the intricate molding of his under armor, the wet brush on all the metallic pieces indicating wear, possibly from some newly superpowered hobo perhaps, down to the belt that they just left gold. I'm usually a Marvel Legends guy, but I'm loving these articulating toes. Generally allows for a more dynamic pose without having to use a stand. So I forgot to mention earlier, but the tank here too is made of a hard plastic and not covered in the same soft touch material the rest is covered in. Looks like there's a tiny bit of bleeding here on the top left shoulder strap. Double-jointed knees and elbows with pegs that looks to be made out of the exactly same color plastic as the rest of his appendages. Even more awesome since each joint is actually a functioning armor piece hiding the joints pretty much all together. canisters of what is probably the very first antidote whipped up specifically tailored to Batman's DNA, no doubt. The bat symbol in the chest is a shiny plastic that, like I was talking about earlier, still looks good if you've managed to get the one without the LED. It's sitting in the middle of this black hazmat symbol that's almost camouflaged up against the gray suit. Under these clear plastic pieces on the gloves and tank are cool little molded buttons and screens. There's a button that activates the LED near the top of the tank that presses up against the back of Batman's triceps. This is actually the first time I'm seeing this in real life, so I'm really excited. I don't even know what to do with the figure at one point. It's incredibly annoying if you don't get the right leverage when switching the LED on and off, but at least it gives an audible click. I went ahead and turned off most of the studio lights here, and to be honest, the LED on him is actually pretty bright, even though the light shows up as kind of a wide arc shape instead of an actual bat symbol. The light even reaches out to the right side of my desk here. Light up that like and subscribe button if you want to see me go through the articulation of this figure. The head moves down all right enough to look at his wrist monitor. Looking up, on the other hand, is all right, but definitely doesn't support a 90-degree position. Double-jointed elbows can curl all the way back and punch himself in the head. The hands are these half-ball joints that articulate in every direction despite having to compete with the gauntlets. The outside elbow armor pieces are one of the few that are left the bare plastic skeleton color with no additional detail. The hoses protruding from the mask looks great. The ones from his torso, on the other hand, bear the visible extrusion marks left behind by the molding process. Bending him forward is a bit of a trial with all the rubberized under armor and hardware, but backward seems to bear fruit despite having the entire tank on his back, and even additional hoses sticking out the bottom of it. Maybe forward isn't such a good idea since it reveals this crease in the torso joint and rubberized undies. The infamous McFarlane splits joint lets him do exactly that. Double-jointed knees kick all the way up and lock into incremental places along these little ridges. The knee pads are also this satisfying soft-touch plastic. Similar to the wrists, the ankle joints are these halved orbs that rotate in whichever direction. Combined with the toe hinge and rubberized shin portion of the boot, I'd say they did a hell of a job engineering just this guy's legs. After witnessing his parents' deaths at a young age, Bruce Wayne devoted his life to becoming the world's greatest weapon against crime, Batman. To become the ultimate vigilante, the Dark Knight disciplined his mind and body to reach the pinnacle of mental and physical superiority. Batman has a plan for every occasion as well as high-tech weapons, gadgets, and vehicles to assist him in his pursuit of justice. One such piece of high-tech equipment is his Hazmat batsuit, built to protect him from a synthetic plague created by Lex Luthor and known as the Amazo virus. If exposed to the virus, metahumans' powers will disappear while normal humans will transform into mutated metahumans. But not if Batman can stop it. So yeah, this thing is great. 2 thumbs up would buy again.